Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Boon. I'm working for Corum as the Global Sales and Marketing Director, and we are here today in the office at the Corum office in La Chaux de Fonds. Well, actually, my job itself is the Global Sales and Marketing Director, but actually, as part of the management committee of Corum, we actually go into a lot more than that. So, for instance, one of my key areas is to look also after all the subsidiaries in the different countries, from A to Z, including the financial part, the HR part, the logistics and operational part. um, Within in La Chaux de Fonds, we actually get more involved in a lot more things as well. I'm also involved in the product development. I'm looking after the customer service, a little bit of financials and production. As together with all my other colleagues, we are all multitasking as part of our jobs. Well, the part that I like most about my job is very simple. I love the contact with human beings. I'm a very human person. I love being in the markets, listening, speaking to people, to whether they are clients, retailers, journalists, everyone, to be able to share what I do and what I love doing. The least I enjoy most about my job is really sitting down in front of a computer, actually, and really looking at statistics, planning reports and stuff. As you can see from as can you hear from what I mentioned earlier, I'm not a very administrative person, but I'm more a active person per se. Actually, I would say the most significant development is all the industrialization and digitalization, because with this, especially also with the invention of with the or I won't say invention, but with the popularity of the 3D printers and so on, now a lot of brands, I would say, including ourselves, we are able to use 3D printing to do prototyping and so on, and this really helped in shortening the overall process in a watch production overall process. And this, I think, is going to continue. Is going to further ahead. Already, I've heard of some brands or even some micro brands that are even doing 3D watches. So I think that this is going to be a significant development, not just from the last 5 to 10 years, but also for the future itself. Well, the future of watchmaking, I would say within the next couple of years or so, I believe that there's going to be a lot of consolidation. That's number one. But at the same time, um, I believe that there's going to be a lot of micro brands that will be starting to pop up as well. Already, I read about a little brand based in the US, and they launched themselves. I would say just a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, and they are already being able to get orders from Russia, from Switzerland, from Germany, and so on. And they are just a small little brand, not doing too much in terms of normal advertising or publicity, but really communicating through the social media and so on. And this is what's going to happen. I believe that micro brands are going to pop up left, right, and center in the future. Yeah, and they are all going to be able to find their niche in their own respective ways. But within the big brands itself, I believe that there's also going to be quite a fair bit of consolidation also, because as we can see now, is principally Richmond, LVMH, Swatch Group. But are they going to purchase more brands, integrate more brands in the future? I believe so. I would think so. But what and who, I'm not able to say that. Yeah. Well, Corum is very simple. As we say in our brand logo as well, we are avant-garde since 1955, and since the beginning, we have always been doing something different. And our USP, our unique selling point, is being unique, because all the watches that we have produced over the last 66 years, so 65 years, have all been pretty unique in the watch industry. From the Emeralds, which was the first to be related to a sports in 1960, the Golden Bridge, which is a watch showcasing the movement in the inline baguette movement, and the bubble, which was another big, I would say, big buzz when it was first launched, and was really totally different from what was the norm in the watch industry at the time. So I would say we pride ourselves on being different from everyone else, and try to do different things as compared to everyone else. To be a leader, to try to be a leader instead of being a follower. That is us. Luxury as a term, I would say from my personal point of view, luxury is something that I wish I could have, but I will never have it because once I can have it, it's no longer a luxury. It's an aspiration. To me, it's an aspiration to be there. But once you are there, you won't appreciate it anymore. Yeah, it's like perfection. You can never attain perfection because if you can attain perfection, then it's not really perfect. Yeah, because it's impossible to always be to be able to do something 100% imperfectly. So luxury to me is the same thing. It's something that I wish I aspire to have. Yeah, yeah, but I will never be able to have it in a proper sense because once I have it, yeah, that is it really called luxury? Because it could be time, which everyone will aspire to have. Yeah, time is a luxury to me because I never have enough time for my family, for my work, for my life, for my personal life. I can't have it. So that is a luxury to me. Something that I aspire to have, but it's never there. Mm, Mechanical watches, they still exist, and I believe that they will still continue to exist. It's because ultimately, all of us, every human being, we still have that. I would say caveman in us, where we like something that is handmade, that is artisanal, and that is mechanical in that sense. Um, I can't say for everybody, but I believe, at least for myself, yeah, there is still that handmade, that artisanal, that mechanical part that really draws me to mechanical watches. Well, tough times. Well, I've been through quite a fair bit of tough times as well. On a personal basis, the toughest time that I ever encountered so far in my life was when I first moved to Switzerland in the year 2006, where I was not able to speak a word of French, and moving to Neuchâtel, in 2006. That was a time that I was really going through. I would say a period of time that I felt worse than hell because I was not able to communicate with anybody. It was difficult. Besides my wife, there was no one else that I could speak in English to. Yeah, and then but of course subsequently I managed to pick up French through learning through classes and also working part time in the afternoon. So that helped. But the first year of being in Switzerland, it was very tough because it was also demoralizing. I sent out at least 200 CVs without even a reply. Yeah, so on a personal note, that was difficult. Um, on a professional note, I would say tough times tough times there were, but we always managed to go past it. During the acquisition of the brand, there was a period of transition that was a little bit difficult as well, but it was nothing that was unmanageable. Yeah, the toughest during my last 15 years in the industry is probably last year with COVID, where everybody was stuck. Nobody knew what was going to happen. Everybody was living on a day-to-day basis, and it was difficult to do any planning at all. So that was really tough times in terms of professional. Um, what do I do after work? Very simple. I love to cook. I love cooking. During the weekends, whenever possible, I will cook as much as possible because cooking for me is a way of distressing. Yeah, so and usually also I like to invite my friends, clients, colleagues, everybody to my home where we can also have an informal meetings and stuff, but also more on just enjoying food and having a nice time together. A couple of years ago, I came across this video by Max Buse, yeah, when he was presenting during SIHH, and he was saying the title of his presentation was "You Never Lose, You Either Win or You Learn," and that was a very big lesson. That was a very big lesson for me because all along I've always thought that success is also graded by numbers, yeah, and I realized that hey, life is a lot more than that. Yeah, and during the video, he was also explaining also how when he first started out MBNF, and then the when just a few days or a few weeks before the presentation of his first watch, the suppliers called him and said they are not delivering, and then one very famous person actually stepped in and actually helped him. So that was what I learned. Over the course of my career, there have been a lot of people that have been helping me, giving me guidance, even though they are not obliged to, but they are willing to share with me, and that to me really taught me a lot about human relationships, and I believe that this is what I want to do also in the future, in a sense of pay it forward. This to me is really the story of my life.